Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Saris MHS bike hitch rack. Hitch racks are a popular way to carry bikes and gear as they offer a flexible and portable design that can work with nearly any vehicle equipped with a hitch. Saris's Modular Hitch Rack, or MHS rack, is a modular approach to the hitch rack that provides a versatile way to carry 1 to 4 bikes as well as cargo by simply swapping out components. Saris lets you customize the rack by offering multiple bases. For this review, we actually have the Duo setup, which has the 2+1 base, and then the 2 Duo racks. Packaging-wise, you can see big cardboard boxes, pretty well packed. You have all the hardware instructions individually packed in each tray, and then the large base that you simply slide into your hitch. And you can see you do need a wrench, just to make the process a little bit easier, and a torque wrench. It attaches to the hitch using a standard hitch lock, and you get 3 additional locking cores for the 2 cable locks as well as that hitch lock. As far as specs, this retails for $8.99 for this 2 setup. It's a modular design, so you can obviously swap out components, and again, this is only compatible with 2-inch receivers. If you have the 1+1 setup, that one does work with 1¼ inch. You have the dual arm holder trays, so they only touch the tires, which is really nice, so it can handle a variety of different frame designs. And you have a 100-pound limit per tray, which is really impressive, so you can put big, heavy e-bikes on this and not have to worry about it, and it's even RV approved. So a really flexible setup. The base is also tiltable, so you can tilt it down or completely upward to get it out of the way, which is always nice. As far as the assembly, it's pretty straightforward, so you can see the instructions are pretty clear. You have the keys, and the main thing you do need, again, is that wrench and a torque wrench if you actually want to get the torque settings. It is pretty straightforward to set this up because almost everything here is pre-assembled. The main thing you have to do is attach the clamps and some of the wheel chock and other minor things. You can see the clamp is kind of the core of the modular design of this. So the only attachment between the tray and the base is the clamp itself. So the clamp bolts onto the tray. And then you can see it's a big metal clamp with a T-handle at the end, which I'm showing here, and a special security bolt. This is the thing you tighten down, and that compresses the tray onto the base and holds it in place. So really flexible, and that means if you want to put this in the garage for storage, it's really easy to take apart. Or if you want to swap it out for different components, like the 3+1, which includes a cargo attachment, you can easily swap things in and out. It is pretty heavy though, as it's really built to handle heavy weight. So the base itself is 38 pounds, and each tray is 33, so you do have to be prepared for that. If you're picking this up from the post office, it's quite heavy. As far as the trays, they are symmetric design, so Saris has been pretty smart about that. You can put the wheel chock on either side, and then put the little back cover and the wheel strap on the other side, as you have the front tray and rear tray, which have swapped designs. So you put the wheel chock on the left, and then you put the other one on the right, so the handlebars don't touch each other. It's a pretty smart design, and you can see the trays all have this nice metal construction. So really durable with a black finish, and you can use the logos here to kind of orient yourself as these provide. These should be pointing backwards. Doing the second tray is identical to the first one. You repeat the process and just make sure the clamp points the same way. And then finally, when everything's done, you can just test everything that works. And you can see the handles operate properly, and you can articulate this up and down pretty easily. So pretty simple setup overall. Now let's take a look at the bike rack installed on our bike and in action. So you can see when you want to put a bike on there, you simply tilt it downward and then open up the arms. They've made the user contact points really nice, so the handles on the Duo trays are nice and wide and they're gray, so very easy to spot. You just hold it at the base, and has a spring-loaded design, so then you can collapse it and ratchet it back in. The whole bike itself is held in place by the tension of the 2 arms pushing it inward, and you can see it only contacts the wheel, so even with the fenders here, everything is nice and secure. You don't really have to worry about it even over rough roads. Everything's also really well built, so you have a 100-pound limit, so you can put big, heavy bikes on here. Taking the bike off is equally easy, so you just undo the rear strap, open up the 2 arms, and then you can lift it out of the way. And then once you're done with that, it's very easy to fold everything up again. So nice ratcheting design. And even the strap has a little hook, which is interesting. So you can wrap it around and it'll hook it in place so it's not flapping around. The whole base is also tiltable, which is a really cool feature. So if you want to access your trunk bed or hatchback, this thing will tilt down and out of the way. If you have big heavy bikes, a little bit harder, but still works well. There's also integrated cable locks here. So you can see it's integrated in the base and includes multiple cores. So you can have all the keys match. Or if you have other Saris products, you can use those cores. It would have been nice to see another locking point, so if you had a bigger lock, but otherwise it does work well. We also looked at the $189 ramp, so it's a kind of a cool feature. So if you have a big heavy bike, it's really hard to lift it off this rack. So you can see this just slides on at the end. It has a little C-clamp design, which simply, again, holds it in place and has a little rubber backing. Then you undo the arms and you can simply roll it down the ramp. So pretty cool setup. And again, when you have big heavy bikes that are 80, 90 pounds, this is a great option. So you can simply load it and unload it by yourself. And if you leave the rear one open, you can see you can just roll it in place and then hold it to reattach it or reinstall it on your bike. So pretty cool setup and very easy to use. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Saris MHS bike rack. What I like about it, it's modular, so you can really extend this or add cargo really easily. You just have to pick the right base. Also, the trays use a clamp-on design, so that's really nice. So when you want to store this rack in your garage or somewhere else, you can easily disassemble it. So the single bolt, you can take off the trays and put it in the garage and get it out of the way. You can also easily swap it out, and that's one of the key parts of this modular design. We also really like the duo trays. They have a dual arm holder design that only contacts the bike tire, so you don't have to worry about any frame damage or handling different geometries. It's a very simple setup. The main negatives with this rack is the fact that it does have heavy components. It's built for big, heavy e-bikes, so you just have carbon road bikes. This is definitely overkill. Also, the rear strap really always gets in the way when you're trying to put the bike on or take it off. It always tilts forward, so it's a little bit of annoyance, but it would have been nice if it kind of hinged backwards. Also, the base lacks an accommodation for additional locks, so like the Yakima trays, which have a big hook where you can put a larger lock there. You don't have that here, so you'd have to wrap it around something else. Taking everything into account, we'd give the rack a 9.2 out of 10. It's a really nice, overbuilt and modular rack that can accommodate different bike setups or cargo needs. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.